Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in to watch this video. And I know I haven't been on here for about a week or so, and that's because I've been really busy buying silver. Because at that $30 price point, like we've talked about, I told you a lot of people will be coming in, and they have started to come in. So I've been quite busy in here. And also, really, I haven't had a very interesting topic to tell you guys about, and I've told you this in the past as well. I'm not going to come on here and just ramble off some stuff unless it's interesting or it has some kind of value to talk about. But this morning I was in a conversation with some local silver stackers, and we got into a topic that is pretty important, that is pretty much overlooked, I think. Even though you guys will probably already know about this stuff, most of you, I think. If you don't, you should stay tuned and listen to this because it's really, really important. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Obviously, 90% silver coins, right? So as you all may be aware or may not be aware, most of the stuff you get from coin shops or online bullion dealers will have some wear on these coins. And that wear is silver loss. So the stuff that's circulated, if you don't know this, most of you probably do, but if you don't know this, over time, because silver is a soft metal, your fingers and your hands and wherever it gets rubbed against will wear off some of the silver. And it's really noticeable on some of the older stuff like this standing Liberty quarter, which looks paper thin, and some of the old barber quarters and halves because of the age and the circulation. Now, there is a system set in place already with pretty much every coin dealer in the world, well, in the country, in the United States, and every bullion dealer, and this stuff's traded in a multiple of face value. And in order to find that current multiple, you would multiply 0.715 times the current price of silver, which will give you a times face value. So for, if it's 22 times face value, they're saying basically, like 4 quarters equals $22 in fiat paper cash. Okay, most of you know that stuff. So if you don't, you could research that. And I've talked about on the channel in the past about the benefits of stacking 90% silver coins. Personally, I think you should diversify into all sorts of stuff. But, I have some customers that only will stack this because you know what it is. It's a sovereign coin, came from the mint, the U.S. Mint, and we know what it is, right? There's one big problem, though. And this problem will only arise, I think, in the future if silver goes to a very high number. I think if we get up toward anywhere near $100 an ounce, like we've been hearing about for quite some time, this could be a big problem, this loss of silver off the coins. So we were doing a test this morning, me and these guys, and we've come to the conclusion, like, this is a pretty average batch of 90% silver here, and we were weighing some of them and see how much each one weighs and stuff like that, and we came to the conclusion that you're probably averaging on a batch like this, which is pretty average batch, about 3% loss. And then when I was talking to one of the guys, and one of the guys I was talking to, I know for a fact, well, not for a fact, I didn't count it, but he tells me he has about 10,000 ounces of this stuff that he's been stacking for years and years and years and years and years. And I was thinking 3% loss on 10,000 ounces is 300 ounces. That's a lot of loss. And, it doesn't matter right now, really, because, you could walk into any coin shop pretty much and sell this stuff at a multiple of face value, and they're not really going to pay attention to it unless it's really, really bad and really, really worn, all slicks and stuff like that. Then they're going to start to pay attention to it, obviously. But if it looks like a batch like this, they're not going to pay any attention to that. But it could become a big problem down the line. If you get to, hypothetically, which is a big hypothetical, but you get to $100 an ounce silver, number one, a lot of these coin shops will probably not be open. I can tell you that right now because they're not going to have the money and they might not want to even mess with it at that point. And we're going to be down to a couple scenarios. One of which is this stuff will be going to refineries to be melted. And trust me when I tell you, the metal refineries do not care about a multiple of face value. They only care about what it weighs and what it melts out at. So if you have a lot of this stuff, a lot of 90% silver, and prices get to where we think they might go to one day, that is going to be a major problem. And even if you kept it for trade only, when you get to a high price point, people are going to start to care about what it weighs versus the multiple of face value. I can assure you. If you think about it in terms of like gold bullion, for example, a gold coin, you're going to care how much wear is on that gold coin. If it's just for bullion reasons and not collectible, you would care. You would care right now. I would care. And I certainly wouldn't want to pay for a full ounce if it's obviously worn down and it's less than an ounce. That wouldn't even make any sense. So the only reason we don't care about this right now is because silver's still pretty cheap. And it's not expensive. But believe me, most people are going to care when you get to a point where silver is 100 or more an ounce. It's going to happen. So I got a suggestion, which may or may not be very realistic, and that is to, if you can, if you're worried about it, to maybe avoid this stuff and buy uncirculated stuff. Unfortunately, most coin shops are going to have probably higher premiums even on these, which are very common. They're probably going to have a high premium on it because they're uncirculated, even though they're not collectible. So, it's something seriously to think about that I don't think is spoken about very much. Guys, I had to step outside for a few minutes because in the shop over here, I had a couple customers decide they're going to have an intense conversation about politics and trials going on right now. And, they were starting to get a little bit emotional, and I was trying to make this video. So I let my longtime employee deal with that. So sometimes in a coin shop, you get, a lot of differing opinions about things. And I wanted to keep my mind focused about what I was talking about. So just walked outside, walked out to the back, and here I am making the rest of the video for you. But back to the topic of a loss on 90% silver coins. Earlier this morning when we were talking, me and these guys, someone's like, "Oh, we're getting ripped off." And I said, "No, you're not. You're not getting ripped off. There's a system in place that's been there for a long time. Whether you agree with the system of a times face value when you're trading in 90% silver coins or not, you might agree to it, you might not agree with it. But you're not getting ripped off. That's the system. I mean, it doesn't make a difference right now. The problem, like I said, what I think will happen, and I'm almost positive it's going to happen, if silver gets to a high enough number, I think there's going to be a transition from a times face value into weighing stuff. It's almost inevitable at some point because I still believe the dollar's on the decline. And I think what's coming is big, and I think we're going to see much higher prices with silver in the future. Of course, it's my opinion. I don't know for a fact. I don't know where it's going. Do your own research. But, it is my opinion. That's where we're going. We're headed much higher. But I don't think, in any way, shape, or form that any of these shops are trying to rip you off. It's just a system in place, and that's it. So, do what you want with this information I'm giving you. Like I said, some of you already know this, and maybe you just haven't thought about it, or maybe some of you have acted on it. Maybe some of you just won't buy it because of that. Me personally, after thinking about it, I think I would try to stick to stuff that's as uncirculated as possible. And, you know, that's because I don't want to lose silver. I don't want to have a loss of silver if I'm dealing in large quantities. So me personally, I don't stack a lot of 90%. I think I made a video about 90% a couple months ago. And I said I was going to stack more. Well, I have started stacking some more of it. But I think if I come across it, which doesn't happen that much, because most of the 90% that comes in the shop, just like what I was showing you. But the stuff that is better condition, I'm probably just going to keep it. And I'll put it away just because, for those reasons like we were talking about. But, you know, like with the guy with 10,000 ounces, losing approximately 300 ounces, that's a lot of money, especially if you get up to 100 or 200 an ounce silver. That's big time money. And, you know, it's just something to think about, you know. And if you have any comments about this, please leave it below. Please like and subscribe to the video too. I appreciate it. And, you know, we'll see where we're going. Right now, silver's right near 32 bucks an ounce. It went above, it pulled back toward 30, and it seemed to bounce off that big number of 30, which made me happy because as long as it stays above 30, I think the probability of it going to the next level, which is 35, or maybe even 40, is likely to happen. We'll see what happens, but it seems to be leveling out between 31 and 32 right now. So let's hope the trend continues. Let's see what happens. For everybody that's heavily invested in silver stacking, it's pretty important. And like I said, if you have any comments about what we've talked about, I'd appreciate leave them below. Any of your opinions, because this stuff actually could be helping some other people. You know, opinions make the world go round. We all got them. So thank you for watching. Until the next video, I'll see you then. Have a great day.